Well, this was a thing. So back in 2002, a video game company named Creative Edge Studios had an idea to create a fighting game that spoofed other fighting games like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. Their ambitious creation was called Bikini Karate Babes, a fighting game composed of women wearing next to nothing, fighting each other. Haven't heard of this game? Well, that's understandable, it wasn't received that well. But apparently it did good enough to warrant a sequel 9 years later titled Warriors of Elysia. So upon looking at the quality of the second game compared to the first, you can definitely see a graphics improvement. Now obviously all these characters are real actresses up against a green screen and CGI worlds added in later. But the problem is that it's not really executed perfectly. If you look back at Mortal Kombat, you see that they did the same thing. Filmed some actors performing the individual moves and then inserted them into the game. While the characters in Warriors of Elysia look better with the graphics upgrades, the program movements aren't as on point. Like for example, in Mortal Kombat, when a character gets hit, it looks natural when they fall back in the air. When Elysia does it, the characters fly up unnaturally high, but they're still in their standing positions in the air, and it just doesn't look right. And they don't blend in with the backgrounds 100%. I don't know. It was never something that mattered in Mortal Kombat, but the Elysia characters, you can definitely tell aren't in the same environment. But the backgrounds themselves look good, but they would fit the CG characters of Primal Rage better. So like a lot of fighting games, this too has a story mode that follows the character known as Venus, who was recently exiled from her home by Queen Cassiopeia. Wanting revenge as soon as possible, Venus finds others who can fight alongside her so she can overthrow her former kingdom. However, before she does so, she needs the assistance of armor and weapons that will give them magical abilities. Hidden in a cave, and of course behind another warrior lady boss fight, lives another woman who creates these items, such as the armor. And I say armor in quotations because, well, it's not. You know, throughout this whole thing, I can't help but wonder if this was someone's fetish project. But let's give it the benefit of a doubt. So there's also this stone device that the warriors are able to get magical gauntlets from. And that, along with their armor, allows them to head back to the Elysia capital and wreak havoc. So I do have to give the team a little bit of credit for taking all this seriously. It's kind of like being brought onto a team, hearing what you have to work with, and then trying to do your very best to put a good project out. It's silly, it's corny, but God help them, they're trying to make this as epic as possible. In the end, no, it's not a good game, but you can't help but still like it anyway. The effects may not be good, but the charm of the game comes from all the people working on it. With every fighting scene, or capturing every character's specific moves, you can tell that all these actresses are clearly giving it their all, believe in the project, and having a blast while filming. This wasn't just a show up and do the bare minimum type of job. All of them put the effort into making sure everything in their battles looks just right, and you just have to hand it to them for that. They're all professional, they're all talented, and they're willing to go the extra mile. And honestly, that is something special. It's a bad game, don't get me wrong, but, you know, give credit where credit is due.